What if I told you that there was an upcoming anime out there that was essentially the Tournament of Power from Dragon Ball Super, but using real-life characters from our histories and myths with much better storytelling, much better fights, it's more mature and graphic, and even has much better art. That series is called Record of Ragnarok. This manga series is getting a long-awaited anime adaptation this June on Netflix. Now, you may have already heard of this series, either thanks to the viral Netflix trailer, which has gotten millions of views, or Twitter, or even YouTube itself. Maybe even from me on YouTube, as I've made several videos on the series, starting from over a year and a half ago. Now, I've been waiting and waiting for the series to finally get an official release of English volumes or an anime adaptation, and now, at least, we are finally getting that anime adaptation. And now I'm making the bold prediction that Record of Ragnarok will win awards for its production, and I would even predict that it will be the anime of the year. Now, I'm going to go in depth on why I think that this will be Anime of the Year in this video, but also I'm going to give you guys first a non-spoiler plot synopsis so you will get a gist of what this series is about. Record of Ragnarok takes place in a world where essentially all the pantheons are real. Greek, Norse, Japanese, Hindu, and more all coincide in the same realms and all rule over humanity. Every 1,000 years, they gather in a council and vote on whether or not humanity gets to survive, or they just kill them all and start over. This time, they finally vote off humanity from existence. Unfortunately for the gods, reminded by the leader of the Valkyrie, they forgot about a rule within their own constitution, that humanity must be given a chance to fight for their lives in a 1 vs 1 tournament consisting of 13 matchups. 13 gods representing the many pantheons versus 13 human heroes that fight for the survival of their species. If the humans can win 7 fights, they survive for another 1,000 years until the council meets once again. If they lose, then they die from the hands of the gods. Now you might wonder how these human heroes will be able to even survive against the gods in battle, and that is where the Valkyrie come back in. See, the Valkyrie are able to commit a magical act called Valund, where they turn themselves into powerful magical weapons. These weapons not only have certain abilities, but they imbue the human hero with immense power that allows them to fight the gods. Now, like I said, this series does remind me of the Tournament of Power, a battle of godlike entities fighting for their survival. But what I do believe makes this far, far, far better is the fact that instead of a battle royale format, Record of Ragnarok is set up in a series of 1 vs 1 bouts, thus allowing for a concentration on 2 important characters at once. And while this is a battle manga, it is not necessarily a meathead battle manga, though meatheads will still be drastically entertained by this show. There's a lot of lore and story woven into the narrative of the battle. With each fight, we get flashbacks for each god and each human hero. This generally allows for the two to understand each other, for us to understand them a bit more, and allows for them to compare and contrast between the two. There are a lot of epic and badass flashbacks, but even some flashbacks that will nearly bring you to tears. Overall, making you root for characters, whether they be the humans or the gods. And better yet, we have no idea who wins these fights. Unlike in Dragon Ball Super, we always knew that Universe 7 was going to win because of the ending of Dragon Ball. What is crazy though is not only do the writers Shinya Omimura and Takumi Fukui craft the narrative greatly with the fights, but there are also countless subplots that take place outside of the tournament itself. So this is not just a tournament, there is stuff outside of the tournament, side plots that kind of tie into each other, so that is great. And of course the flashbacks are really cool as well, which while they are based on characters that are fighting in the tournament, they are not a part of the tournament itself, so allows for a lot more story within the narrative. There's also a subplot of a rebellion among the gods brewing, who might be the traitor among these divine kings. A lot of times series will have to balance the quality of their fights and the quality of their narrative. Generally one will be sacrificed for the other, but this is not at all the case for Record of Ragnarok, as it has far better fights than generally every other series I've ever read or watched. The choreography is amazing and is massively enhanced by the scale of the narrative, as well as each character, god and human, having their own unique power sets, making every single character and fight fresh. Also, characters have to often think outside the box, and it's not just all based on power of who wins. And every single fight in the series, in my opinion, is an S-tier fight in any other popular battle manga. And even if you took the worst fight in the series, it would be the best fight when compared to the majority of other battle series as well. Now, based on the trailer for the show, we know that the first 3 fights of the anime will be adapted into Season 1, which is great. I think that 3 fights per season would be amazing, but I wouldn't be surprised if Season 2 is only 2 fights, because those fights are quite long in the manga. They're longer than the beginning fights. And the first fight will be Thor versus Lubu. Lubu, a Chinese hero known for his strength. The second fight is Zeus versus Adam, Adam being the father of man from the Abrahamic mythologies. Then it's Poseidon versus Japan's greatest swordsman in Kojiro. All these fights are phenomenal, and I just know that the clips from the Adam versus Zeus fight are going to go viral shortly after the season drops in June. Because overall, I'd say from the fandom overall, Adam versus Zeus is the best fight, and it was my favorite fight, and it is my second in this series. But it is just absolutely phenomenal. So when this series drops in June, I can just envision all these clips going viral on YouTube. And there's going to be a lot of other fighters coming into this, like there are going to be matchups in the manga after this. It's going to be Heracles versus Jack the Ripper, Shiva versus Raiden. There's other fighters that have been announced, but we don't know who they're going to be fighting. For example, we know that Odin is going to be a fighter, Loki, Beelzebub, and many other gods are possible fighters. And then for humans, there's going to be Simo. This is a Finnish sniper who fought in World War II. He's like the best sniper who ever lived. There's going to be King Leonidas from the Spartans from 300, the movie, who was actually a historical and mythological character. And then there's going to be Nikola Tesla. Don't really think I need to say much more about him. And then Rasputin, as well as other very important human figures as well. I'm really excited. So I want to make this video because in the coming months, I'm planning on creating content for Record of Ragnarok a lot more, seeing as it is in my top 3 favorite series right now, right behind Black Clover in first and My Hero Academia in second. So I think for the coming months, I'm going to upload a Record of Ragnarok video either once a week or every other week, so a couple times a month. I have theories on this series as well as other discussions to go over, and even stuff that nobody else has talked about, that at least I've seen on YouTube yet. So I would heavily suggest in the meantime to read Record of Ragnarok, or at least to watch it when it comes out in a few weeks. And dude, please support my Record of Ragnarok content that will be released, because even though I love Black Clover, I don't want it to be the only thing on my channel. And as you have noticed, I stopped uploading Jujutsu Kaisen videos because there's just a lot less to talk about for me now, because it is a shorter series so far, and a lot of the topics have already been done to death, and I've already made a bunch of videos on it, and I don't want to do chapter reviews for that series. I do think that Record of Ragnarok is going to explode once the anime drops, so be ready for all the hype beasts, guys, because it's going to blow up. So just get into it now, because you're going to get into it anyways. You might as well do it earlier, because that's going to be awesome. But you can easily read Record of Ragnarok through 3 websites online, and I'm not going to give any links, because that could provide legal troubles. But yeah, all I'm going to say is just Google and never download anything from these manga pirate sites. You should never have to download a manga chapter. That's all I'm going to say. So like the reason why I think that Record of Ragnarok is going to be just insanely popular and it's going to be anime of the year is just the trailer looks really high quality animation, and I know these fights are amazing, and I just remember all the hype from Dragon Ball Super. But then you take all that hype from the fights in Dragon Ball Super, and now you have mythological characters and real people that existed. You're going to have people who, they might even be that might even be their ancestor. That might even be their country's hero. Like the Finnish sniper, you might have a lot more Finnish people reading this manga or now watching the anime because he's going to be a character. And then Norse is a very popular mythology right now. Thor is going to be the first fight. And then I know Adam versus Zeus is going to blow up. And like I said, it's the tournament of power, much better writing. It's probably going to have better animation, much better just everything, much better fights. It's going to be a bit more graphic, and I believe because it's a seinen, and so yeah, it's just overall going to be better, way better. So that's why I think it will be anime of the year. Just seeing on how popular Dragon Ball Super was, and then put on top of how much better Record of Ragnarok is, it's going to be insane. Yeah. So with that being said, hope you guys did enjoy the video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know who your favorite character is from Record of Ragnarok, and then also comment your favorite fight from Record of Ragnarok. With that being said, hope you guys do have an amazing day. Plus